one of the biggest underlying reasons for so many people that I speak to is freedom. I'm just trying to figure out which is the best way to go talking of freedom. It underlies everything. So when I think about why I do certain things, or why I set my business up in a certain way, why I left corporate to move into my business, it was for freedom. And I want to talk about what freedom means to me, and I'd love to know what freedom means to you in comments as well. So for me, freedom is to work when I want, where I want, with who I want, to go places that I desire to go. So when my body, so let me know if this resonates with you, I'll sometimes get this like soul calling. So last week I went to Scotland. It was like, this is my soul home, I need to go to Scotland. So getting that calling and being able to follow it. I had the same thing happen with Glastonbury, I had the same thing happen with Australia. This knowing comes in, and then being able to follow that. That could even be exactly what I'm doing right now. My soul had a calling to share this freedom and greenery with you today. So it is the freedom to follow through on those messages that come through no matter what. The freedom to have everything that you desire. And these could be big things, or they could be small things. Like, even like silly example, today I've got some noise cancelling headphones and I was using them today when I was writing some posts, and I had some music playing, and for me that is freedom. That is freedom for me to be in my own world, tuned out to any noise, and being totally focused on what I am doing without, hearing the door or the dogs barking or the cat meowing, or, even like, it could be even a little thing like that. That is freedom to me. So let me know what freedom means to you in comments. And then the other thing is where we come in to masculine and feminine energetics. And this is where this combination of energy is really important. So I remember when I first left my corporate job, and it was like, way, I'm free, I can do what I want. And I ended up in toxic feminine because I was so rejecting of the masculine structures, because corporate had led me to burnout. So because toxic masculine, aka corporate, my 15 years in financial services, where I had the dream career in HR, I had the dream career, and that was not enough for me. I ended up leaving and setting up my business. But because I was so scared of the toxic masculine structures, so scared of them because I'd been in burnout, when I left corporate, I ended up in toxic feminine. It was like doing all these things, but none of these things were really making forward momentum in my business, because I wasn't actually giving myself the space, and ironically, I wasn't giving myself the freedom. So even though I'd left corporate for freedom, this is another beautiful tree. Even though I'd left corporate for freedom, I then actually took myself away from freedom. So I'd been in toxic masculine, and then because I was so scared of that masculine energy, I ended up in toxic feminine, and actually not having any freedom at all because I didn't have the required boundaries in place. And then when I worked through all of this and I had all of those lessons, this is where I started to bring the healthy masculine and the healthy feminine in together.